You a little bit about becoming a master of dreaming, becoming a twilight walker, a walker between realms, and some of the surprising things that can actually disrupt this power. Learning to become fully lucid across both waking and sleeping realities is one of the most profound things that we can do as a skill on the journey of spiritual mastery. To be able to fully utilize the power of our dreams to navigate life in exactly the same way as we would the waking world is an immense gift that I am deeply passionate about sharing with as many people will listen to me. There's a couple of really surprising things that you might not be aware of that can actually disrupt our capacity to be fully conscious in the dreaming world and to utilize the power of our sleeping time to guide our lives. Number one is being dehydrated. If you go to bed not having drunk enough water throughout the day, if your body is dehydrated, essentially, if your cells are dehydrated, it can actually interrupt the flow of communication between waking and sleeping bodies, the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, and the deep psyche and the more aware, on the surface level of things, level of your being. And I want to tell you why, a mystical reason why. Actually, what we're doing when we're learning to master the power of dreaming is we're combining body and soul. The soul being the dreaming world, and the body obviously being the physical experience. And body and soul are meant to be in absolutely harmonious interplay and communion between each other. They're meant to be in absolute oneness and focus as one cohesive unit. And in the dream of separation, which we'd lived in for eons of cosmic time, of course they'd functioned separately. This is the very nature of the dream of separation. It showed up in separation, apparently, perceived separation that didn't really exist from the infinite, perceived separation between masculine and feminine, and then this is mirrored in the body, with the feminine being the soul realm and the masculine being the body. The feminine inner space, the body being obviously the physical masculine dimension. And to restore the absolute unity of communication between these two realms, where we fully remember as lucid dreamers of our reality that they are not in fact separate, that the dream of separation is not in fact true, and we completely restore harmonious union between masculine and feminine body and soul, we need to actually be dealing with treating the body in the same way as we would treat the soul, meaning that when we go into our dreaming state, we're realizing that the body actually plays a very large role within becoming masterful dreamers. And this is something that is very commonly overlooked. Typically, what happens is that spiritual beings tend to perceive the soul as being separate from the body, dream is separate from awake, and so on. And really what we're doing as we leave the dream of duality is we're closing down this paradigm and we're bringing them together again, recognizing that that is not in fact true. The dream of separation is not real. Awaking and dreaming states are one and the same, united. Body and soul are one and the same, united. And so we want to be sure that we're caring for the body in a way that enables the soul to do its function of this fluid communication between the two. And I just mentioned a really key word there, fluid. The communication between body and soul is meant to be this fluid interplay and exchange of information, where information from the dreaming world is filtering into the waking world and vice versa without any barrier between the two. But if the fluid levels in the body are depleted, it actually interrupts the flow of this process. So if you want to really become masterful in the dreaming realm, make sure that you are drinking enough water before you go to bed and staying fully hydrated throughout the day to give your body and soul the best possible chance of coming into this cohesive communication cycle between the two of them. Another key thing that might be surprising in terms of the way that it can interrupt becoming masterful dreamers is eating too late at night. Going to bed with a full belly, really ideally, it's not a great idea to eat after sunset, whenever that is, at whatever location you are in the world, seasonally, and so on, because the body's rhythms are designed that darkness time is a time for repair, replenishment, detoxification, restoration, and so on. It's not meant as a time for digesting food. The waking hours where the sun is shining on us is meant for that time. And so When we, first of all, disrupt this natural rhythm by doing things that are kind of out of sync with nature, first of all, we're signaling to our being that we're living out of rhythm. Out of rhythm has an immediate knock on effect in terms of the communication between body and soul. Dreaming and waking out of rhythm means that we've put something in life that's meant to be in this cohesive union out of sync. And so, even before we look at, your body is going to be busy digesting, instead of working on this interplay between body and soul, we've gone out of sync when we act out of alignment with natural rhythms. And so, then, of course, from that, you've gone to bed with a full belly, you've eaten too much before bed, you've eaten ideally at a time when your body is meant to be focusing on not just the repair, but actually on developing the union with the soul. During the sleeping hours, it's instead focused on digesting food, which is a function of the waking world. Very not commonly understood, and yet, I promise you, if you practice eating in a way that is more in sync with the natural rhythms of life, you'll find your capacity to become more masterful at dreaming actually improves. One final note that I want to share on this is not a thing per se that disrupts dreaming, but I want to share with you a little bit about the true inner space versus the shallow layers of the astral realm. A significant volume of people actually don't really dream fully in the soul realm. They dream in the astral realm, which is just a shallower, it's just like a layer beyond the physical, if you will. It's a shallow experience of what's not really soul at all. You haven't actually gone into the true soul. You're just kind of floating just outside of your body, not really internalized within your inner space at all. And there are a number of reasons why this happens, yet all of them come down to one thing: interruption in some way of the natural ways of living. So it can be things like being on your phone too late at night, watching television, being too attuned to everything that's going on in the outer world and not spending enough time becoming masterful, really deeply attuning to yourself, exploring your own inner reality, exploring your own inner space, spending time with your inner being. EMF exposure, excess chemicals, toxins in your environment, and all these types of things cause a disruption that actually, once again, disturbs this link between body and soul communication. And instead of then going into the soul realm and sleeping, you just go into the astral instead. And that's where people get the dreams where they just dream of, what they saw on television during the day, or random stuff that happens during the day, instead of the deep dreaming states that actually provide valuable clues and are full of symbols and so on that can actually help to guide our lives. If you'd love to learn more about this really fascinating topic, first of all, I'm going to be sharing a lot more here on YouTube on this subject. Keep a watch out for my videos. If you enjoyed this, you can like and subscribe if you like, and you'll see the new things that come in. They'll all have a label pertaining to dreams in some way. And I also offer a really comprehensive training course on the Toltec art of dream interpretation, which I'm so excited to be able to bring to those who want to learn more about this fascinating subject area. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to checking in with you again soon.